You need to stop memorizing theory and expecting your opponents to follow book moves. It doesn't work like that in chess. I'm gonna play 2 games and show you exactly how you can boost your ratings. And no, you're not gonna need to memorize more theory. You're gonna punish the ones that do. We're gonna play simple. We're not gonna go for crazy 5-move tactics. We're gonna think of the next move and keep everything as simple as possible. Okay, now our opponent is going for Sicilian. So we simply push this pawn, so later we can push another pawn and recapture. Here, he's attacking, we're not defending. So we can simply take. He will take back with the queen. There's no threats, so we can develop our knight. There's a line I learned from Danya where you bring your knight here and then go there. So you can pretty much check the queen and the king. It worked a lot when I started out playing. Matter of fact, I'm going to try it. Not the best move, obviously, but let's see if our opponent sees it. We can reroute it to here. There's no worries. But, yeah. You can even develop the bishop. Ah, he sees it. Well, we can still come here and see if he misses that. Not the best move, but we're going to try out simple stuff. He does see it. A very impressive player, I guess. Now we can't bring in the queen here to stop this knight from moving because he can simply push a pawn and we're pretty much done for. What we could do, we could take the center, or a simple normal move would be to attack the queen again because he moved it too fast. From the beginning, we will simply attack it. Now we can develop the bishop and we castle. Let's see what our opponent does now. Okay. Look at this. If we go there, what is stopping us from forking him? Nothing, right? We could go back, but we can take this instead. So let us go here. And our opponent resigns. That was not very educational. But the point was, play simple. And when you make the next move, try not to blunder that. If you're not playing the best move, if you're not doing the greatest engine move, you can still win. Because sometimes when you make a mistake or inaccuracy, it's actually a genius move because your opponent can't understand it. They're not a machine, they're human with a human brain. They will make mistakes. So some shady moves could actually work. We moved the knight a lot, but we created random threats that a machine could understand very well, but not a human. So you don't always have to play by the book. You can confuse your opponents and you can simply win. Let's see what we did. We didn't do anything crazy. We simply played. We didn't think of like crazy tactics. Look, we take it back, simple stuff. We develop our piece. Our opponent tries to develop and, they memorize some. This is what I always say. Don't memorize openings because once your opponent goes off the book, you will not have an idea how to win. And this is a good example of that. He was playing book moves because he's used to something here. He's going to defend here and, put pressure on my pawn, but it doesn't always work. This guy popped up out of nowhere and now he had to think about what to do because he started to think of what's going to happen. I could come here, I could go there. So what he did, he made a mistake here. And now this is obviously not the best move, but we're creating a threat that he can avoid. But he will have to think about it and they will usually miss around these ratings. Kudos to my opponent. He did notice it. And now this is obviously not the best move again because we moved the knight too much and we blocked pretty much everything. But we confused our opponent. He goes back. We now develop our bishop. See, now they are back to the book moves and whatever because they really wanted to fianchetto that bishop. We castled, and then our opponent made a very big mistake here. When you make a move, you have to understand what could happen. Instead of that, he could have simply moved this. So try to keep it simple and stop memorizing moves. When you try to play book moves, your opponents will not respond to you that way. After a second or third move, they're going to play random chaotic stuff like what I just did here. Okay, we're going to play another game here. Our opponent goes Scandinavian. They're expecting us to take. we're going to play something different. He can push or take. He pushes it. Now this is not the best move. Even though it's not equal, now he's a bit better. I can simply play. He might miss out on a few moves here. Now I'm threatening to take this. Okay, he wants to take, so we can take back. What do we do here? We can ignore it. We can castle. We can ask him a question. What are you going to do here? So let's keep it simple. Maybe he could make a mistake. If he goes here, I take, and he takes back. No, okay. Now we're going to ask him, hey, what's up? See? I told you, if you get out of book moves, you can win. I'm up a piece. Simple as that. Theory and book moves are overrated, especially if you're below 2000 elo. Just play normal simple moves and games will just give up. Now he's trying to find like a way to checkmate me. Okay. If you say so. Let's exchange everything since we're up a piece. Let's develop our bishop. Well, we could come here. Then this will happen. Matter of fact, let's just bother him a bit. We can go back and go to here to attack this piece. Yeah. Okay. Now he's trying to checkmate me quick. All right. Now we're going to try to fork him. Let's see if he misses that. Probably not, but let's see. Like I said, you don't have to make the best moves. I think so far we only thought one move ahead, right? One or two moves. You could try to exchange, but I doubt he will accept. He will probably come here. Let's see what he wants to do. But the thing is, what if I push this? Is he going to sack? He thought he was going to push. He's going to sack. Very impressive, I guess. But we're still going to come here, unless you go back. Now what? Okay. We want to defend this piece, this pawn. Okay. How about now? Well, I don't mind if you take it. Push the pawn for me, please. And if I take, he takes, I take back. Now he may want to check me to create a threat. What? Okay, my guy broke here. No, you're not going to get any pawn from me. Okay. By the time he reaches here, you'll probably checkmate him. Here you go. See? We kept everything simple. Okay, it was 1900. Everything was simple here.